was like,
The Holy Spirit took over.
and no one cares about sprints.
I care about the sprint. McLaren
It's the world championship
hotline. I have some thoughts about that.
He's Max freaking Verstappen. He should always be on your radar.
We get to the juicy bits.
Love the juicy bits.
I'm not a scientist.
Overtake King.
Yeah.
That restart, by the way, from Oscar Piastri.
Cheeky.
Diabolical. There's been lots of drivers. It's hard to keep them all straight. And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is why we're yelling, welcome back to another F1 team preview. In this episode, it's going to be a little bit longer than the others because we are talking about the brand new Formula One team to the grid this year, team number 11, Cadillac.
Cadillac.
I'm very excited about this.
Oh, yeah. I know. We're pumped. We are pumped. USA. So, Cadillac arrives on the grid in 2026 as Formula One's 11th team, backed by General Motors and TWG Motorsports. For those who are not aware of what TWG Motorsports is, because I was not aware until just now, because I was like, who is this? I need to Google it before we get into the episode. It was launched in 2024 by TWG. That was really fast. TWG Global, led by Dan Torres. It's a Chicago-based entity created to manage a elite global racing portfolio, including Andretti Global, Spire Motorsports, Wayne Taylor Racing, and the incoming Cadillac F1 team. So basically, it's a management company for motorsports. Mm-hmm. So they are backed by them, TWG Motorsports. They're launching into the sport at the exact same time as the new regulations are coming to fruition. Mm-hmm. And the reason that's exciting is because sometimes a new team's going to be on the back foot anyway, but now everybody's kind of on the back foot during new regulations, so it's not going to be maybe as daunting as it could have been, say, they joined in the middle of regulations. So everybody is now learning, and not to mention, like, new regulations is one thing, but like DRS is gone, like so much is new that, you know, they're not having to really start from the back. I mean, they are, yes, but it could be worse.
So they're having to learn how to function as a brand new team.
Yeah.
That doesn't have any history in its current iteration, right? In this particular sport. So they're having to figure all of that out already. And they're having to learn the new regulations. However, every other team is also having to learn the new regulations. Yes. So they're not as behind as they would be if they had joined, say, a couple of years ago.
Yep.
In the middle of a regulation set, when every other team is already they're well established as teams and already well into that regulation set and kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other animal. So they actually timed joining the grid very well.
Yes.
To limit the amount of behindness that they're going to experience.
So, like, we could frame it this way. They're building their first concept while everybody is rebuilding theirs. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, some of the essentials for Cadillac F1. The team name is Cadillac Formula One Team. The team principal is Graham Loudon. Sorry.
Loudon. We'll learn it. I'm sure.
I'm sorry. So they're drivers. It's exciting. We have
they're new, but not new to us.
Yes. Sergio, Checo, Perez, and Valtteri Bottas with multi-year deals announced in 2025. The test driver to watch is Colton Herta, signed as a test driver, moved to Formula 2 for 2026. Mm-hmm. The power unit plan right now. They are running Ferrari power units and their gearboxes initially. However, Cadillac aims to be a full working, their plan is to have their own power unit by 2029. So they want to have a General Motorsports power unit by 2029.
So Cadillac is an American Formula One team. They're not the first because Haas was or at least the first that we are familiar with. Haas is already on the grid. They are technically an American-owned team. Mm-hmm. However, Cadillac is different in that I believe their goal is to be like fully American. Eventually. So they're an American-owned and based team. Mm-hmm. Their facilities are based in America. Mm-hmm. They eventually want to, like you said, produce their own power unit and engine and all that stuff. So eventually their manufacturer will be American.
Yeah.
And then their goal is to have an American driver.
Yes.
Which you mentioned, Colton Herta. I don't want to bypass that too quickly. I do want to mention. So he was an IndyCar driver, American. He has been trying to get into Formula One for a minute. And things just keep not working out. There was some issues with like super points licensing. So for those who don't know, to get a super license, basically to be able to drive in Formula One, you have to get points. And you earn points by competing and winning and doing well in other series. But those series have to qualify in order for you to earn points for them. So you can't just race in any series and get points. You have to compete in participating series that earn points.
Yeah, they have to be FIA. That's why Formula 4 was eventually established and like finally in the USA. So like even though last year they only had like 8 drivers on the grid, that was established because really the only open wheel racing America had was like, on US soil was IndyCar, but that's not governed by the FIA. So that doesn't get you what you need really.
Yeah. So I think, and I could be wrong, I think you can earn some super license points from IndyCar. Yeah. It's just not a lot. It's not nearly the same equivalent as you would get in like other Formula series, like in Europe.
Yes.
So basically that was a hurdle he was having to overcome. And again, he's been kind of waiting in the wings to join Formula One for a hot minute. And he's American. And so Cadillac signed him on as a test driver and they got him they helped usher him into Formula 2 so he can start earning those super license points and get some experience in the Formula Racing series. So basically he is like committed in this pipeline to drive for Cadillac.
Yeah.
Like they're not making any sort of like hemming and hawing about it. They're like, no, this is basically our guy for the future of this team.
Yeah.
And we mentioned their 2 current drivers are Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. Again, new to the team, but not new to us.
No.
They're a good choice for this team, and we will get into that a little bit more in a minute.
Yeah. The big question heading into 2026 for Cadillac is how quickly can Cadillac turn the new team basics into real weekend execution? It's one thing to have some clean procedures and testing, but how's that going to translate into race weekends? We need to see clean procedures, clean operations, good mileage, and then they need to start stacking performances on top of that. So, you need to execute as a team and you also need to start performing. So for year 1, the first win is really just going to be reliability, not making procedural errors, and your drivers maybe being in the points is going to be way too greedy, but just having consistency and have their drivers close to each other and being able to give that feedback to the team. Yeah.
So taking a look at Cadillac as a whole, we're going to look at what they actually are and kind of how they're set up. And we'll do it quickly, I promise. So this isn't a rebrand or a takeover like we've seen with other Formula One teams. So we've had, for instance, like Alpine was a rebrand from Renault.
Yeah.
We have, Audi is technically is a new name, but they are a rebrand and a growth out of
Kick Sauber.
Jesus, it left my head. It was gone.
So she said they're gone.
Poof. They're gone. See ya. So, this isn't just like here's an existing team. We're going to rework some things, grow out of this, and change the name. Cadillac is new. Yeah. Like they are building from the ground up, all new everything, new facilities, new people. Like they're building their team. Everything is new. And they're based, I mentioned they are based in the U.S., so they're based in Indiana, near Indianapolis, which makes sense because a lot of motorsport in the U.S. is based in Indianapolis. Home of the infamous Indy 500. It's like the home of a lot of IndyCar, obviously Indianapolis. IndyCar drivers are based in or out of there. A lot of the teams are. So, I mean, it just makes sense that they would be there. There's a lot of resources there.
There are a lot of resources there. Interestingly enough, like my job, like my corporate is in Indiana, and there's a lot of shipping that goes in and out of Indiana, which I don't know why that is. And that may have been another reason, like also one because of IndyCar, but two, there's clearly like when it comes to logistics and like Indiana is just a place like that a lot of people seem to go to.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And they do have a UK base in near Silverstone, which
Yeah.
again would make sense. It's similar that Silverstone in the UK is sort of a hub for motorsport.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of teams that are like down the road from each other. The headquarters are in Formula One. I want to say like, is it like Aston Martin and Mercedes or something?
Maybe.
Or somebody? There's like a couple of teams that are a shout from each other.
Yeah.
And then we've got the power unit facility that is being built near GM's technical center in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So again, that's the future, and the goal for this team is to have an American manufactured power unit.
Yeah.
And so they're working on that. Like they are booked and busy, and they are building.
Yeah, they ain't just talking, they also walking.
Yep, they walking the walk.
Yep.
So looking at some key people on the team behind the scenes, we've got our team principal, who is Graham Loudon. Hope I'm saying that right. Eventually we'll find out if we're saying it right.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll do some interviews this year.
Honestly, I'm sure we probably could have found some and listened, but sorry.
We have not. So we're doing our best to guess. So the team principal, he was previously the sporting director for Marussia. He was a sporting director for someone else.
Yeah.
And then we've got our chief technical officer, Nick Chester, who formerly worked at Renault. We've got Pat Simons, who is the executive engineering consultant. He formerly was at Team Enstone. And then we've got Dan Taurus, who is the CEO of TWG Motorsports. And he has framed the long-term goal as building a pathway for an American driver, but not forcing it for the first year. Their goal is to just get up and running. And again, we will, in a minute, hold on, we're almost there. We will explain why their driver selection was a good choice and important.
Yes.
So looking at really quick, the power unit and where it's at and why it's important. So Cadillac's long-term plan is to become a full works outfit, meaning they build both the chassis and the power unit, but that takes some time. The current plan is Ferrari power units and gearboxes at the start, with Cadillac's own engine targeted for 2029. So early on, the headline is we've got a new chassis team and customer engine while the long-term works project ramps up.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about why Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. I was like Checo Perez. I was like, no, Sergio Perez. Sorry about that.
Either one. I think he responds to all of it.
Why this was so smart of them and why it makes sense. So Cadillac went in, and if you even go look at who some of the key players are behind the scenes, they really wanted experience. So they got Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, and they bring a combined of 527 Grand Prix starts, 16 wins, 23 poles, and importantly, they're both known as drivers who can work with engineers and help a team build a car's direction. Another note, they have both been the number 2 driver to a world champion, a multi-winning world champion. Max Verstappen has 4 titles, and that's who Sergio Perez was teammates with, and Valtteri Bottas was teammates with Lewis Hamilton during some of his dominating era. So both of them have experience with they've worked with winning teams, and they've also just have so much experience like building a car and knowing what it would take to build a winning car just by seeing a world champion help build it and being there for it.
Part of the role as a number 2 driver is not just to support the number 1 driver and execute and still finish in the points and help get points for the team. Part of your role as number 2 driver is to help develop the car. Like that's a critical component of what you're doing. And like you said, they both have experience doing that. They even both have experience as reserve drivers. And, I want to say reserve drivers, do they do some testing?
They have to.
And some simulation work and stuff too?
I think they do some simulation work. I mean, I know they for sure have to take part in some of the practice sessions, but I believe so. But some of those drivers aren't reserve drivers. So there's
I know Sergio was. Yeah. And for sure Valtteri Bottas was.
Yeah.
So, they've got experience in multiple different kinds of roles in Formula One.
Yes.
As drivers. So yeah, this is a very smart pairing for them to choose, because they're going for, like you said, experience, because it is a new team. They need some people who know what they're doing. They're not looking for new blood yet.
No. And so like really what each driver brings. So Valtteri Bottas, a calm baseline. He has a lot of technical clarity, years inside of a top level engineering environment, at like Mercedes, is just like, it's insane. Like, yeah. And Checo Perez. Well, I don't want to call him Sergio Perez.
Call him. Checo is his name.
Checo is his name.
It's one of his names.
So he has a lot of experience managing difficult race weekends, adaptability, and has a reputation for extracting results when circumstances aren't perfect, which is true because when he was with Racing Point, he got that, was it a win or a podium, when it's like, how did he even do that on that shitty team? And that's what got him to Red Bull.
Yep.
So both of them just have so much collective experience. And I think not only, that's the obvious answer, right? In my head too, I'm sort of like, you've got two drivers who they're so talented and arguably more talented than some of the number one drivers or some of the current drivers on the grid that should have never lost a seat to begin with. Valtteri Bottas going to kick Sauber is an actual crime. That should have never happened. Never. Mm-hmm. So redemption arcs for both of them, really, because Sergio Perez, Sergio Perez, that one of the things that Red Bull's trying to accomplish now is let's not just develop a car around one driver. That's something Laurent Mekies has talked about. And that's exactly what happened to Perez when he was at Red Bull, where his car wasn't being set up right. Nobody was listening to him because Christian Horner was just like, no. And then he just gets kicked out. Mm-hmm. Both of them, I think, are hungry with a lot to prove. And that's only going to help develop Cadillac more because not only, like, experience is one thing, but you have, like, winning drivers.
Yeah.
Drivers who arguably could have been number one on a team. Mm-hmm. What did testing look like for Cadillac? The big story here is that it looked exactly how you wanted it to look. They didn't really have a lot of problems. They didn't really have a lot of procedural problems. They got a lot of mileage. They prioritized getting through the run plan, stacking mileage, and learning how to operate. Like, just learning how to operate while because it's one thing to go do some laps on a track by yourself. Mm-hmm. You have other cars on track. You have procedures you have to follow. You have so much going on. It's busy. Like, it's not like
so much noise.
Yes.
Even just dealing with the increase in volume of distractions.
Yes.
That plays a huge role. Like, you have to get used to that before you get into a race environment. So like, that's part of what testing is for.
Exactly. And so really everything that they accomplished in testing is exactly what you would want them to, because you can't develop performance if you don't have any sort of stable baseline to work with. And another good thing with these drivers is they've done regulation changes. So they're going to know how, if you got a problem, from the driver's perspective, they're going to know, how can we address this in a productive way? So it's just Cadillac right now, obviously, I don't think they're the last team on the grid. Mm-hmm. And I think that says a lot for a brand new team. But that's why it's so smart. I think it's great Cadillac has done this where you want to prioritize like American first, Americanist, whatever, but we're not stupid and we want to make sure that we actually develop before we fail. And I think they're doing great.
Yeah, I think that's a great point you mentioned about, both of these drivers have been through regulation changes before. So they're going to be able to, I think they might have a leg up on some other drivers in that they're going to be able to better tell if we're lacking performance, is it a me problem or is it a car problem?
Yeah.
In terms of like the development of it.
Yeah.
And like, okay, is this me needing to get used to this? Mm-hmm. And I know it's a me problem, or is it like we got to fix something on the car?
Yeah.
Looking at, what the team has had to say about testing and everything going on so far. So Valtteri Bottas, his overall message was that testing was the problem-solving phase. So every lap taught him something. We improved a lot day by day, but there's still work to do. Now it's about digging into the data, sharpening how we operate as a team, and cleaning up the areas that need attention before the first race. So positive.
Yeah.
Pretty upbeat. And yeah, I mean, that's we've said in other team previews that if you go into testing and ran your plan and what you did was learn, you accomplished a lot, because that's what testing is for. It's all about learning. If you learned and didn't damage the car, then you had a very successful testing.
If the engine didn't blow up, honey, claps.
Yeah. Sergio Perez said that testing was about exploring the car, understanding setups, learning what directions to take, and putting mileage on it to find what needs improving. It's been really positive. We've learned across every area. The team is gelling, and now the focus turns to development and adding performance. Graham Loudon, the team principal, said that the priority across testing was building a stable platform, ticking off reliability and system checks, then using mileage to understand how the car responds to setup changes. The data has been invaluable for a new team. We had a few small issues, but we leave testing happy and with a solid baseline package to build on heading into the first race. But yeah, so overall, positive, upbeat tone, and they're looking forward to the first race.
Yeah.
They learned a lot.
So what can we reasonably take away from all of that, right? Mileage matters for a new team, and Cadillac got through a lot of running, which means they'll show up to round one with real procedures and real data. They had, I mean, honestly, that almost feels like more of a win than any other teams having just what I would call a good weekend based on the fact they're completely brand new. New garage. I mean, everybody on this team this is the first time they're working together. You have other teams who, yeah, everything went well. We have good reliability. That's great. You've been working together for X amount of years, and you've already kind of know how this goes down. This team, getting mileage and reliability and not having like panic attacks, that's even more of a win.
It's very impressive so far for them to be new.
100%. And they're being taken serious in the paddock. Like, my other teams are like, nah, man, like, watch out. Like, the fact that there's been no, here we go. They thought they were just going to join Formula One. Like, look, they can't even get the car. Like, can't even get it off the grid. No, not the case. Loudon says other teams reached out with supportive messages, and the early will they be ready talk has calmed down. So, like, the smack talking.
Yeah. Are they even going to be ready? Who knows? And it's like, oh no, they shut them up.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, some other teams didn't even make it to Barcelona. Not saying, I don't think James Vowles would ever talk smack. I don't know. I don't know.
He would talk it in a very particular kind of way.
Yeah. So Cadillac also should be pretty comfortable inside the qualifying limits based on some of the timing sheets. So I don't necessarily, they might not be getting knocked out in Q1. We'll see. Performance is obviously still an unknown, but that kind of goes for everybody. But one headline number was Bottas's best lap was roughly 3.3 seconds off of Ferrari's best in testing, but everyone runs different programs, especially in a brand new era. For all we know, we don't know how much fuel people are running, anything like that. It's kind of, it doesn't really mean much what certain teams' best lap times are. They might not even be trying to get the best lap, dog. They're just trying to get a lap. So either way, Cadillac has said that they have left testing with a baseline that they trust. And just that, and to me, like, being confident in saying that is still more confidence than what some of the other midfield teams have wanted to say. You know, everyone else is like, don't look at me, don't look at me. Cadillac's like, you can look over here. We're not first, but honey, we all right. Like, we're still standing. We haven't fallen over yet.
So the main storylines to watch for Cadillac heading into 2026, we've got the building the new team muscle. So, you know, pit stops, procedures, clean communication, avoiding operational mistakes in the first couple of races. You know, we don't want to see any like newbie sort of mistakes where we're messing up pit stops or we don't know operational procedures. We don't want that. We want to avoid looking like the new kid on the block. So another headline is the development rate. So with veteran drivers, the feedback loop can be sharp. So how quickly can they turn data into upgrades? They are a Ferrari customer power unit temporarily until they can get the 2029 works plan underway. So, you know, how can they balance short-term learning with long-term identity? And then even, again, looking at the long-term goals and initiatives for Cadillac to be a fully, like, American team. You know, looking at Colton Herta and how he does in Formula 2 in 2026 and seeing...
Which we will be watching, honey.
We will follow. And seeing kind of where he fits into Cadillac's long-term driver plan. And then sort of the respect aspect of it with, you know, Loudon saying, you know, earning respect is going to be achieved by executing well. And that's like a real measurable thing that they can accomplish in year one. So it's, again, not being viewed as the new kid on the block who doesn't know what they're doing and has their shoes untied and is trying to run the race and trips and falls in their face. They need to execute well, and that's going to and I think they've already taken that first step.
Yeah, I think testing so far, I think everybody was very surprised with how well it went, even just from an operational standpoint.
Yeah, so we'll see if if they can continue that to earn that respect that they want in this first year.
I mean, I think that's actually a really good point. I think it's very easy for dumb Americans. They want to get involved in this sport. I mean, I'm American. I get it. Sometimes you almost have to overtly prove yourself just because of the worldwide reputation that I guess we have from other dummies that have given us that. So I understand, like, honestly, that is the one thing they can prove is how serious they're taking it rather than we just want a Formula One team because it's like, no, bro, like this is like a long term. We're here long haul. Like we're here and we're not going anywhere type thing.
Especially when every other Formula One team is either, you have all the chassis manufacturers on the other teams and engine and power unit manufacturers so far are primarily European. We've got Honda, that's the one Asian manufacturer. And then Ford is an American company. They're working with Red Bull now.
Yes.
But this is brand new for them.
But it's still like Red Bull's working with them because I guess with their factory. So it's like a Red Bull engine, but Ford's helping them. Yeah. So even then,
not even fully. Yeah. So, but it's the case of like, I can see how so many other people involved. I mean, there's no other way to see it that Formula One is a primarily European-based sport.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. They have so many more resources. It started there. Like, it just is what it is. And so it's easy to see how other people involved in the sport could turn their nose up at an American team trying to be an American manufacturer and with an end goal of eventually being an American, making their own power unit and engine and stuff like that. Like, I can see how they could turn their nose up at it and be like, what do you even know about this? Like, do you know ball?
Yeah.
Do you know ball? I can see that. And I can understand why they would, which is why I'm like, Cadillac, get them. Show them who's boss. Show them what we got.
So if we were to summarize Cadillac's preseason testing so far, we would say it is exactly what you wanted to see from a brand new team. They got the mileage, they got learning, they got stable runs, and a very heads down approach with two veteran drivers who know what good operations feel like. So honestly, Cadillac, A+ so far. Now, the question at hand is this. What will matter more to you and to the listener, in Cadillac's first handful of races? Pure pace on the timing screens or seeing them run clean weekends with solid execution and visible progress from one round to the next? So I'll give you an example. Say we have one car, just for whatever reason, honey, they in the top 10. But the other car ate ass, procedural errors, they have a horrible pit stop, they affect another team, something just goes horribly wrong procedurally. Or both finish in the top 15, no errors whatsoever procedurally, everything seems fine. What's more of a win?
But not in the top 15, but not in the points.
Not in the points.
Option one. I think if we can get one car in the points, but even if something goes horribly wrong with the other car, if we get one car in the points, I'm taking that as a win. In terms of like coming out of the gate being competitive. I think at this point, I understand that they're still, they're new, they're still at the building phase and trying to get their foundation set. But as an American, there's a level of competitiveness that it lives within all of us, that hunger to like win and do it right. And so for me, like I need to see that identity ingrained in this team from the jump. Like I need a car being competitive. I need them in the points, even if the other car fucks up a pit stop or they crash or whatever. I need one of these cars in the points. I need a top 10 finish out the gate.
Okay.
Which driver do we think would get the top 10 finish out the gate?
Bottas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think for me, a win for Cadillac in the first handful of races, pace would be great. However, I do think that sometimes when you have procedural errors, affecting another team is unacceptable. So if you were to do something in a pit stop, a tire flies off, it hits a car, something. Your hoses are not right, your something that affects other people, Good luck. That's all anyone's going to talk about the rest of the damn year, honey. It's going to be embarrassing because you've got to get the basics down. This makes me think of Susie Wolf, who is a queen, who is in charge of F1 Academy. There is some shit that's elementary, and you better have that elementary shit done. And there was a moment in F1 Academy when a driver couldn't start the car on the start of a race, and it was embarrassing. And Susie chewed that team out, chewed her out.
She messed up a basic starting procedure,
Yes,
where she was lining up on the grid, or there was something wrong where she just completely botched it. And it's such a basic, simple thing that it's we're at a point in this now where the drivers should not be messing this up, and when they do, it reflects poorly on the whole racing series and not just on that driver.
Yes. So to me, I agree that pace. Yeah, I want pace, but I'm also I would be so fucking embarrassed if anything elementary in F1 world procedurally got fucked up. Because I'm bro,
we can't even do that, right?
Come on, dude.
Yeah. I get it.
So I'm just a win for me is if Cadillac can just smooth sailing for the first few races. And then after 3 or 4 races, I want some pace. So what do you guys think? What would you think a win for Cadillac would be? Pure pace, keeping their heads above water, or, no procedural errors? What do you think would be an actual win?
And we will leave it right there.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this episode up. But don't go anywhere too quickly, because we have done and are doing previews for every team on the grid, for all 11 teams. So there should be a box floating somewhere around here. You can click on that one to watch another team preview, or go to a playlist on our channel and watch all the other team previews that are out right now.
Yes.
And until then, we will talk to you next time.
And please, this is the only episode we've said this on. If you're a fan, please comment, and subscribe, because it really helps. Thank you.
Bye.